Natalia. I am a WordPress web designer with more than 7 years of experience creating websites and online stores for small and medium companies. My goal with this channel is to help freelancers like you leverage technology so they can start working for themselves. If you're interested in this topic, subscribe and keep watching. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I'm a firm believer that having your own website is essential for any freelancer. It doesn't matter if you get your clients from Fiverr or Upwork. Having something that you own, aka the website, will give you more freedom in the long run because you will stop depending on platforms that you cannot control. Today I want to show you how simple it is to get started. I will explain to you what WordPress is, how to install it on a free hosting and also on a paid one. And I will also give you a quick rundown of the backend. If you have no clue what the backend is, or if you think this is gonna be too technical for you, please keep watching. I promise it's very, very easy. All right, before we set up WordPress, let me give you a quick explanation of what WordPress actually is. WordPress is a free content management system. It is a very popular tool to create websites because of its simplicity. It's often used by beginners as you mostly don't need to code. It is estimated that around 43% of all websites run on WordPress. That is almost 1.5 billion websites. Okay, now that we know what WordPress is, let me first show you how you can get started for free. If you're interested in knowing what you should consider before you actually start, please watch this video here as I go into much more detail about hosting and domain. Okay, now, provided that you don't have a domain and you don't have a hosting, I suggest you start by simply going on WordPress.com. Okay, now we are on WordPress.com. The WordPress.com hosting is really great, and as I said, they offer a free plan for you. Let's look at it. So, if you want to see the pricing and the plans, you can just go to this page here. You will see that they have a free plan here. And then once you want to do more things, you will have to buy a premium package. What I don't like about this is that to get the full functionality, for example, to be able to install plugins, you need to go with a business plan. And the business plan for 30, I think it's quite expensive, even if the hosting is great. So let's get started with the free plan. To do that, you just go to start with free and go through the steps to create an account. All right. After clicking on that and creating your account, you will see the first prompt, which asks you to choose a domain. If you want to choose a domain from here, you can do so. If you already have a domain, you can click on Use a Domain I Own. But if you don't have one, which is what I assume, I would suggest to just start clicking anything. I'm just gonna add my name, for example, and then it will tell me the different available domains. But as you can see here, they cost a little bit of money, and at the moment I just want to go with the free one that is a subdomain of WordPress.com. You see here, free. You select this one. You can set your goals if you want to. I'm just gonna skip, and that's it. You already have WordPress installed. Let me show you how it looks in the front end. And just to explain what the front end is, the front end is everything that your visitors will see, and the back end is everything that you see when you log into WordPress. It is where you actually manage your content and adjust your design. Okay, if we go to the front end, you can do so by, I think you can just click here. Oh, yeah, you can click here and then visit site. It will open up your site in the front end. This is how it looks like at the moment. Of course, this is not a very nice looking site yet, but the purpose of this video is not to create the whole site, but just to show you how easy it is to get started. You can see that, and let me move this here. you can see that we have a navigation to the left. And this is where you will find the different settings. So when you get to the back end, the first thing you see is the dashboard. You can even adjust the dashboard to your needs. For example, if you have an online store, you can use it to show analytics. But usually my clients and I don't use that so much. Okay, let me give you a quick rundown of the navigation points here on the left. And I'm not going to go into each and every one of them because some of them are very specific to WordPress.com hosting. For example, upgrades, stats, inbox. All of these are not standard navigation items. This is why I'm not going to explain them. But as you will see, the ones that we are going to go through are the same even if you are not on WordPress.com, even if you install it on another hosting. Okay, so first of all, the posts. In the posts, you would add all your blog posts. This is not where you would add information of your services in your company. This is just for you to publish articles. You can add a new one. You can even add categories and tags. And here is where you would write them. So let's see, if we click, for example, on Add New, you will be redirected to this page here where you can add a title and the content and much more. But I'm not going to go into detail. We can do that another time. Let's go back. The media is where you will upload all your images and files. And if you have videos, you can upload them here as well. I would recommend not to upload any videos here. It is much better to embed them from YouTube or from Vimeo or from any other provider, as these videos can be quite big and will take up a lot of your space that you pay for in your hosting plan. Also, if people go to your website and they have to load a very big video first, it will take a lot of time, and this is also not very good for your page speed or your visitors. All right, then on pages, this is actually where you would create your pages. For example, home, about us, services, prices, etc. It is very similar to posts. You can also create a new page by simply clicking on Add New, and it will look very similar at this stage. Comments is very important. If you have a blog, you will have to check it from time to time. Sometimes you could spam comments and you can approve or disapprove them here. Now these are WordPress.com specific. Then we have WooCommerce, which is not installed by default when you install WordPress, but they do have it here, and I think it is to show you that it is possible, but you cannot actually use it. Yeah, if you want to start a new store, you will probably have to upgrade. In the appearance, you can choose the theme that you want. You can even edit it depending on what you choose, but we will get to that in a different video. And you can add additional styling as well. Then we have the plugins. The plugins are small extensions for WordPress that give you additional functionality. We have users, and right now I'm the only user in this page, but you can add other users as well if you want to have an editor or other admins. The tools is something that we rarely use. You can export and import things, and if I'm not mistaken, these three are also WordPress.com specific. And lastly, we have the settings, and the settings are quite important, but you use them mostly just when you set up the page. Usually you do that once and then you don't touch that anymore. You can, for example, set the date and time format. You can set if the page should be visible or not to search engines. You can enable and disable discussions, and you can even change how the links look in the URL. Good. So this is all. These are the standard items that you have with every WordPress installation. And as you will see, depending on what you install later, if you install additional plugins or a theme, you will have additional items on the left navigation side. Now, let me show you how to actually install it on a paid hosting, a hosting that I highly recommend because it is not only very good, but it is also very inexpensive. Let me show you here. It's called SiteGround. Let's take a quick look at the pricing. You will see that the pricing is completely different. So we have very inexpensive, $1.99 per month if you only have one website. Something that I find really important is that you have free SSL, because some of the hosting companies that some of my clients have don't have that, and they have to pay extra for it. You even have free email and much more. I think this is a great deal, and you will see that eventually if you start to grow and to have a lot of traffic, this might not suit your needs anymore, and you will have to upgrade a little bit because it might get a little bit slow. But for starters, it's great, and you will not have the restrictions that you have with WordPress.com. With WordPress.com, remember, if you have the free plan, you cannot install plugins. If you don't have that, WordPresses only have the fun, so and you cannot have all the functionality that you need. So probably this is only good to get started, to get familiar with WordPress, and then before you actually create the whole website, you will have to buy some hosting. Let's get this plan here. Now, I already have a domain. If you want to, you could even search for it here. Maybe you can find a cheaper provider. I think Namecheap is one that is pretty inexpensive. And then you can just point your domain to this hosting. Of course, it is a little bit easier if it's on the same hosting, but if it isn't, don't worry, it's pretty simple as well. And I might make a short video about that in the future. All right, I already have a domain. Proceed. All right. Okay, here I'm gonna fill in all the details. Okay, now I have created my account and I'm gonna log in. Good. So as you can see, I just had to quickly set this up. Right now it costs around $25 for a year, which is really inexpensive. I mean, if you look at other hosting companies, they charge a lot more, as you could see before. For example, WordPress.com, the cheapest plan is $5 per month, which is $60 per year. It's still much more expensive. And I would say for the start, SiteGround is more than enough. Okay, let me show you how to install WordPress on SiteGround. First of all, you will have to go to websites. I already have my website basically created because I said that I have a domain. So what I need to do is finish the setup with my existing domain. If you have a new domain, it would look different. And just to make it a little bit faster, I'm going to select the temporary domain for now. I want to start a new website. And now that I see start new website, you can choose the application that you want. If you want to install WordPress, you can just click WordPress. If you want to install WordPress and WooCommerce because you plan on creating a store, then you can use the second option here. I would suggest to start with WordPress, just this, because it's pretty easy to install WooCommerce later. Okay, let me do this really quick. You can add the site scanner if you want to. I think exactly. So it costs $30 per year. I don't think it is necessary, honestly. Just finish the setup. This will take a couple of minutes, but that is basically all you need to do to install WordPress on SiteGround. All right, so this is it. Now if you go to websites, you will see your newly created website. Let's check it out. Let's see the front end. And as you can see, we already have WordPress ready to go. This was super simple. It took 2 minutes. You can also log in here by clicking on WordPress admin. It will redirect you to the admin login page. And you can also start by using their WordPress starter. I will exit this as I already know the backend. And now you will see that the navigation on the left is very similar. We also have the dashboard, we have the posts, media, pages, comments, appearance, plugins, user tools, and settings. So these are all the standard ones that I already told you about. And then we have 2 more, which are SiteGround specific plugins. That's exactly what I meant before when I said every hosting has their own plugins that they might install or not install, and you don't have to worry about these as the standard ones are always going to be the same. I want to quickly show you now that if we click on plugins, we now have the ability to actually install a new one. Before we didn't have it. So that is why I'm saying to get started, this is a great solution to go to WordPress.com. And if you want to get serious about it, if you need to install themes and plugins, you should go with a hosting like, for example, SiteGround, as you will have all the functionality that WordPress offers. One last thing I want to show you is how to install the SSL certificate on your website, because I told you about this in the beginning and in my previous videos, and you can see here on the top left that this site is not secure. So we want to change that. And for that, we are going back to SiteGround. And here we have available extras, which is SSL. SSL is a free option. We can add it here. You can also go with like a premium version, but I've never done this. I think this is perfect, and you can just activate it. Now you will have to select the domain, which we already have. Let's encrypt and say get. Okay, so this is all. Let's see if it already works from the get-go. So if I go back here and reload the page, make sure you load the page through HTTPS. And now you can see that the site is secured. That is all you have to do. It is pretty easy. Now you can also just quickly check in your settings, and you will see that the WordPress address at the moment is only HTTP. Let's add an S here as well and save the changes, just so it really works every time you load the page. You might have to log in again, but that's no problem. Cool. And now you will see that you have HTTPS set up correctly and your website is secured. That is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and you are excited to get started with WordPress. The first step is always exploring, even if you're not capable of doing anything yet. And in the next videos, I will be showing you step by step how to create a professional looking website all by yourself with no coding experience. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you're interested in creating a life where you have freedom of location and time, please subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comment section and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you for watching. Bye.